This is going to be the only video you are going to need to start setting up Premiere Pro for video editing for YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, anything you can think of. This is also for Mac users, Windows and PC users. I'll make an updated version, but I mainly use Mac. But the same kind of process still might follow. I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, this is kind of for Mac users. The first phase I call is the preparation phase. The first thing we want to be preparing is make sure you have one of these. What this is a portable SSD drive. No matter whatever computer you are editing on, however much storage it has, eventually that storage will be filled. Yeah, it'll get full, and you never want to start deleting stuff. And also another reason is because depending on how strong and how spec'd out your computer is, a lot of its memory and a lot of its RAM, a lot of its capability is going into running this software. Takes some burden off when those files are on something else that's external. So the way I like to do it in my drive, I make one mega folder. So it's, for example, for YouTube videos, I make one mega folder that says YouTube videos. Yeah. Now every single video that I will be making will get another folder, like another semi mega folder. And you can get as intricate as you want as you move forward. In that folder, I make a lot of different separate folders. It will make a lot more sense why there's going to be a lot of folders. But usually the big three that I make is footage, music, and graphic files. Those are three main folders that I make. Once everything is put into these folders, now your SSD is prepared, your SSD is organized. Now let's get into Premiere. So now we are opening Premiere. As soon as the application launch, it's gonna open up to this screen. There's a lot of unnecessary stuff that pops up. All we're doing is just naming our project file and finding the location to put it. In our SSD file, that's where we're gonna put this project file, finding the folder that we made for this video. The project files are really, really important because that's how you're gonna open this file up again. Every time you find the location for something, it is synced, and so if that location is moved, that is when Adobe's file is missing or there's an error. So that's just a good note to keep in mind. Once we name it, we click finish, and all we do is just open by the project. You just open and you go into Adobe. Now that we have it opened and everything like that, the tab, there's different like windows that you can go in that are separate, that are different and separate for whatever you want to do. The main place that I like to keep it the majority of the time that I am in for window purposes is the edit tab. That is kind of my default kind of setup when it comes to the layout of this program and what it looks like. In the bottom left corner, you'll see kind of the name of your project, and it's as its own tab. That is where we'll be dragging and dropping all the pre-made folders that we originally did in the preparation phase in our SSD. It kind of just skips out a step where you don't have to make your own bins. You already did that in the preparation phase. Once that is done, we're letting kind of all the project files just load in, and then once that is complete, we are ready to build our sequences in our timeline kind of zone. Side note as well, you can organize these, your SSDs, your folders, your bins, however you want. This is just how I do it, and it's very, very basic. The more you get into the flow of things with this program, then you can adapt this process to be your own, and you can get even more intricate. If you like it, then take it as your own. If you don't, alter it however you want. I don't take any offense. So let's build our sequences. If you don't want to do any of that, basically, if you don't want to create a whole sequence, this is another thing that I just can tell you. Take one of your video clips that's in that project, drag it over to your timeline, and then just drop it. It will make that sequence match up to the video dimensions that one video is shot like. But anyways, making a sequence isn't that hard. To make our sequences, we go up here to the top and select File, Sequence, New Sequence, and now the Sequence tab kind of opens. I do the RE kind of preset for 24 frames per second, and then I've altered it in this kind of fashion. Just enter the exact points that I've made. And this one to start out for is for YouTube videos, which is going to be a wide video. TikTok videos, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, or vertical videos in general. These are the settings. They're exactly the same, note, but the only thing that I changed is the dimensions. So instead of 1920 by 1080, you just want to flip those around. So now it's 1080 by 1920, and that is how you're going to get that vertical video. They may vary depending on on how you shot your footage. For my footage, for YouTube videos, for TikTok videos, I'm shooting them mainly in 24 FPS. But if you have shot them in a different frames per second, just alter that section to match up with your footage and how it's shot. Once that is, say okay, your sequences will be built and they will pop up here in the timeline section in Premiere Pro. It's all set up, everything is done. So now this is a bonus tip when it comes to exporting. A simple rule and a simple thing to always keep in mind and to always press when exporting to make sure everything matches up that we have done up to this point. Bring an in and an out point to your timeline, an I and O, that is what you're going to be exporting. So now you hit export, come to this tab right here and click match source high bitrate. Nothing gets altered and you're going to be exporting exactly how that video is supposed to be. That's a bonus tip that I felt like was very, very important. And just like that, your Premiere is set up, you're ready to edit your videos. Now you have a simple process that all you have to do is just basically repeat with newer videos, with your next video, the video after that, the video after that, so on and so on. And yeah, I hope that was helpful. Stay safe, always do what you love, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.